On today's episode, we are going to take a quick look at Netflix. They just reported earnings, and if we take a quick look at the stock price, it's not really doing much right now. After hours, the stock is up 0.56%, so it seems like investors got what they expected. So in today's episode, I want to take a quick look at what happened. One of my favorite things is they do mention the gaming side and how they're kind of moving into that in their streaming platform, which is super exciting. So let's jump right into it. So Netflix year-over-year growth in revenue was 19.4% compared to the same time last year, and they added about 1.5 million new users, net additions in subscribers this quarter, and that's good, right? They kind of estimated about 1 million, so 1.5, obviously they beat expectations, but this is a lot weaker compared to same time last year, right? Same time last year was about 10.09 billion. And before you attack me, if you are a Netflix bull, obviously I understand, right? 2020 was a crazy year for the whole world. So we're gonna see about that in a bit, but obviously they saw a huge growth last year, and now they're kind of slowing down this year. The other thing I do want to mention is this quarter they did have negative in cash flow from operations and in free cash flow, and that's something I didn't want to happen, but they do mention that again later on in this episode. So let's take a quick look at what's happening. Remember, I mentioned 1.5 million new subscribers this quarter. Most of it actually came from the APAC region. That was about, if we take a quick look, a good portion of total additions, right? About 1 million came from APAC. The other one driving big force for Netflix right now is the Latin America portion, which added about 0.76. One thing it is important to note, it does seem like United States and Canada, which is the biggest, the most developed region for Netflix, saw a decrease of about 0.43 million subscribers. So about 430,000 people stopped using Netflix or kind of ended their subscription this quarter in the United States and Canada. So, I mean, it's not the best thing to see. I don't think it's the worst thing to see either. If we continue on, they do mention a little bit of how they forecast the remaining year. For quarter 3 of 2021, they estimate about 3.5 million new subscribers. So again, not the same growth they saw last year. And we can see here from the charts, 2020 was just massive. It was just a huge gain from them compared to previous years. Now 2021, is expected to be much lower. And if you average out 2020 and 2021, things are looking like normal. So investors shouldn't really freak out. And let me just say, I do not have a position in Netflix, but I do like looking at their overall earnings. And also, guys, let's take a quick listen to today's sponsor, a great reason why I'm able to provide so much content to you guys for free. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services the Fool offers. Through the Motley Fool Stock Advisor services, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 new picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done amazing returns. If growing your money is something you like to do more of this year, you can visit fool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the stock advisor is right for you. Thanks again to the Motley Fool, and now onto today's video. So besides COVID-related issues that they saw huge growth last year, there's another reason Netflix blames the slowness in growth. And that's that last year production kind of delayed on some of their original items. So because of the delay, those were products that were supposed to come out this quarter or last quarter. So because of the delay, they're being pushed on later on. And usually new content drives new users. But they do believe for the second half of the year, they are going to expect stronger growth in products and in seasons, which might accelerate that growth. For example, their quarter 3 slate will include new seasons of fan favorites like Money Heist, Never Have I Ever, Sweet Girl, Kissing Booth 3, and so many more films. They also talk a little bit about them expanding into the video games. And I want to say this is probably my favorite thing. If you guys don't remember, last week there was reports that Netflix had hired some previous video game veteran to kind of help out in the video game industry. So we finally get some insight of what's inside Netflix's mind. So they view gaming as another new content category for them. Similar to the expansion into original films, into animation, into unscripted TV, they believe this is going to be something strong for their subscribers. Games will be included in membership for Netflix subscription at no additional cost, similar to films and series. Initially, they want to focus on games for mobile devices. And this is pretty interesting, right? I definitely want to get a little more into it. Obviously, there's not much information. They haven't really given us a time frame of when they want to start doing this. But what do we do now? They're not gonna make it an added subscription service. Obviously, they might increase prices, but it's not gonna be a different segment. So everybody subscribed to Netflix will have the gaming side. Second, they're moving it into the mobile world first. So now, are they going to create their own games? Are they going to license games? Are they going to do a mixture of both? And in the mobile games, do you need a new application or will you be using a current application, right? There's still so much unknowns, but I'm happy they at least mention it and they're saying, yes, we are going that route. Next, I want to take a quick look at competition, right? They say that streaming right now represents just 20% of US TV screen time compared with 63% for linear television, according to Nielsen. And within that, there are only 7% of the United States TV screen time. Here you can see a pretty cool chart. We can see Netflix is pretty much the leader as an individual market right now, but we can see streaming is still such a small portion compared to US TV time. This is not taking account, I can't believe I messed up there. This is not taking account mobile devices, just pretty much TV screening at the moment. But we can see Netflix is still a leader. And the other thing we're seeing is we're still in early stages for the streaming world. Like we mentioned earlier, right? Netflix had negative cash flow from operations this quarter, about negative 64 million compared to $1 billion positive same time last year. They are saying a good portion is because now they are going back to producing new originals, and they are expecting the full year of 2021 to be free cash flow break even. That's okay, right? I still want to see how the new gaming side will affect it, and they still haven't really talked too much about it. I think this is something upcoming episodes or upcoming earnings will have to mention, how the new move into gaming will affect cash flow, how would it affect margins and stuff for the overall company. They do also believe that they no longer have a need to raise external financing to fund their day-to-day operations. If we take a look at charts, right, Netflix doesn't seem overextended. Even after today's earnings, I mean, the stock price hasn't moved much. So I'm liking where Netflix is sitting. After this earnings, I still think there's huge potential for the company, especially moving into gaming. I have no intentions of buying at the moment, though. I might enjoy some of its competitors a little bit more right now. And overall, right, things don't look bad. Let's say someone was to buy Netflix into my account and I was forced to hold it for a year. I wouldn't be angry about it. Especially at these levels, I definitely wouldn't be upset. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good night, and see you next time.